G'day, welcome back to another episode of Togl. Haven't been able to do a lot of filming the last few days. It's been very windy and blowy up on the block, so the filming's been sparse. Anyway, yesterday I split the cattle paddock into two, just with a simple 2-run electric wire strand. Well, I got one run in. I'm going to put the second run in this morning, but yeah, it was still pretty blowy yesterday. So this morning though, the day is looking beautiful. So I've got the dogs in the back, as you can see. We'll get them up onto the block, get them into their pen. I need to mill up a bit of timber, and then I'll go up and I'll finish the second run on that fence that's splitting the paddock in half. And then I'm going to set to work on actually making a whole new paddock. That's going to give me 3 areas where I can start to rotate the cows through, give the ground a rest. So that's our job for today. It looks like we've got a beautiful day ahead of us. It's only 8:45 at the moment, so I've got a full day ahead of me. Hopefully I can get all of that done. I probably won't get the new cattle fence finished. That's going to be a big job. That's a couple of 100 meters worth. But again, I'm only going to make that I'll probably make it 2 strands of electric wire and 1 strand of barbed wire, so it'll be a 3-strand fence. Anyway, we'll see how we go, and I'll see you up on the block. Another very frosty one up here this morning, but I got to admit, it looks beautiful. Hamish, stop. Oi, shush. Last night I went up to the local footy club. They were having a home game. Went up there for dinner. Caught up with a few of the locals that I'd normally meet up with at the Stowport community meeting on Tuesday mornings. One of the ladies reminded me that we've got some pretty big wedge-tail eagles flying around up here. I need to be careful of our little dog, little Hamish, little West Highland Terrier. I'd forgotten about that. I mean, snakes aren't a concern at the moment because it's too cold, but yeah, those eagles, they could quite easily pick up a little dog like Hamish. So this morning I've just spent a few minutes, and what I've done is on the run here, I've just run rope out, and hopefully you can see that in the light. So I've just run a series of runs of rope between all the star pickets. Now that should be enough to stop a wedge-tail eagle swooping in. A wedge-tail eagle, they come in at speed. They've got a very big wingspan, a couple of meters wide. They need a pretty good area to come in and swoop in and grab something. So with all those ropes crisscrossing across the pen, it should be enough to deter an eagle. He's not going to be able to get a clean approach to come in. He's not going to get a clean approach to get back out. And then you've got the other big dogs in there as well. They normally hang around as a group. So I reckon that's definitely enough of a deterrent that we won't have to worry about any wedge-tail eagles coming in and getting poor little Hamish. All right, time to cut some logs. I didn't even give it a thought. There is a little stub of a branch sticking out. I could have had it sitting up, wouldn't have been a problem. It's sticking out to the side and it's stopped the frame coming through, so I'm just going to have to quickly lop that off. Well, that's just cost me an hour. Cut that first slab, like the first back off beautifully. Flipped the log, went to cut the second one, blade went straight up. Backed it off, lowered it down, checked everything, tried again, blade went straight up. Now from last time, I know that that's because of a blunt blade. Don't know how the blade got blunt so fast, but I did have the original blade that I already sharpened, so I brought that back. I've put that on. Technically now that's a sharp blade, as long as I've sharpened it right. I've got it fitted, took a bit of mucking around trying to get it all set, making sure it was tracking straight so that the blade didn't jump off. It's always, whenever you loosen off the big flywheel over the back there, you put a new blade on and you've got to readjust everything again, make sure it's spot on, because if it's out by just a degree, it'll throw that blade. So let's see how we go now. Obviously that was the problem. New blade, I sharpened it right, straight through. Look at that, for a beautiful slab of gum, 2 centimeters thick, all the way through. Beautiful. Beautiful slab of timber. But this is destined to be fence posts. Only little fence posts. Let's keep cutting. that was scary. Blade bounced off. Not sure why that came off. They'd have been tracking beautifully, as you saw, done a couple of runs. They shouldn't have just jumped off like that. So I'll just check and see if that's still tracking true. Still right where it should be. Well, I'm surprised that's cutting as straight as it is, given that it just came off and hit the metal on the inside. There is a little bit of a dip there. That could be due to the grain at the time, but for the most part, that's pretty straight and I'm pretty happy with that. These are really good posts. Well, not a bad effort there, given all the hiccups that we had. It's 11:45, so it took me about 45 minutes from when I had to swap that blade over. But I've actually got 29 posts there. Would have been 30, but one of them, as you can see over here, was a bit ratty. It was right on the end there, so it's really not that good. I'll use the bottom half or something, but essentially 29 2" by 2" posts, 2 meters long. Beautiful. Not a bad effort at all. So is this mill going to pay for itself? Hell yes it will. So now I'm going to take these up to where I need them, up in the top paddock near the cows, and I'll get ready to start putting some fencing up there. Okay, I just had a bite to eat. Now it's time to head up to the cows and get some more of this fencing done. Now, because the track down through the back there over this way is still so slick, I really got to take the tractor. So I've got the tractor loaded. Everything's strapped in, all the posts, everything I'm going to need, I hope. Bits and pieces up here. And yeah, so tractor's going to get me there. Let's go. Well, it's now 2:45. It's taken me an hour and 45 minutes to get ready to start doing this fence. I've done 3 trips back to camp for shit that I just keep forgetting. So it's no wonder it takes me forever to get anything done, because I'm forever running around doing stupid stuff like that. On the bright side though, on one of those 3 trips, I did load up with hay and I brought hay up for the cows. So at least I got the cows fed, so it wasn't a total loss. Anyway, I'm here. I now have all the gear I need and I can do the second run on this fence. So yesterday, I put in this wire from that post. The wire runs straight up, single wire, straight up to where the cows are up the top there. I need to put a second wire in. I also need to put another star picket in because the ground dips just up around about there. The ground dips, so I need another star picket in there. So I'm just going to quickly belt that in now, and then it's time to start with whatever little daylight I've got left on fixing up this other paddock. So on the other side of this fence here, there is a fence, somewhat of a fence, but as you can see, like further down the back there, it's just all fallen down. So I need to fix all this up. That's why I cut all of those 2x2s, and I also intend on running some electric fence across all this as well. So that's the plan. I'll be doing that for the rest of today and tomorrow. Another cool morning up here this morning, although not as frosty. There's a layer of cloud which stopped a lot of that frost forming. It's supposed to shape up into a really nice day today, so let's hope so. Today I want to make a serious effort on this fence. It's only just gone 9 o'clock, so it's one of the earliest starts I've had up here in the last week or two, so that's fantastic. Should be able to get a good solid day in, fingers crossed. Most of the gear that I need is up here. I won't say all, because we know what happens when I say all. So most of the gear is up here ready to go. But you can see there is this fence along the back, 3-strand barbed wire, the remnants of the old fence. It's not in too bad a shape, but what I'm going to do this morning is get that all tidied up, replace some of those uprights that are a bit rotted out, make sure everything's nice and tight. I'll get that done all the way around the whole fence that I'm going to do. I think I've got about probably 200-300 meters worth there. I'll get all that sorted. Where it's completely gone, I'll replace it, and then once I've got the 3-strand barbed wire up and sorted, it'll go down to the back corner. Then from the back corner I'm going to do a single strand of barbed wire, because there's actually nothing down the back. I'll do a single strand of barbed wire, I'll do a top and bottom of electric, and then I'll continue those 2 strands of electric up along here. Even though this is 3 strands of barbed wire, in between those I will still run the 2 electric, because giving those cows a zap on the nose is enough to deter them from even trying to push through the fence. So I want those 2 runs of electric wire all the way through, even where there is 3 strands of barbed wire. So let's get into it. Things have been going pretty well up there with the fence. I haven't actually filmed any of it. I've just been replacing some of the timbers, re-nailing some of the timbers that are still okay. There's one section up there which I'll show you in a minute where the fence was completely down and it was under probably about that much of leaf litter underneath the gum trees up there. So I had to work my way along, digging all of that out, checking the barbed wire. The barbed wire is still in great condition, it's just all the posts had rotted out. So what I'm doing with these posts is I'm just using the old panel saw. These are the posts I cut yesterday, and I'm just cutting a spike on the end so that they go in, because I've actually cut these 2" by 2", which means I can use that big post rammer that I use for the star pickets. I can use that for these timber posts as well. I'll show you a bit of that when I'm up there. So I'm literally just cutting the 4 corners off. It only takes a couple of minutes each one, but it means that I can actually use these posts into the ground. And sure, you know, they might only last a few years, but in a few years time I'll probably have a better post rammer and I'll be better set up, and I can come back through before the fence goes down and ram in a heap of star pickets or even copper's logs or something like that and really fix it up. But for now this will do. And the bucket makes a pretty good workbench too. That's all it takes. Bloody good saw, this one. Little Stanley, very sharp. Cuts through this hardwood really well. This is that gum tree, as I said. And there we go. We have a nice spike on the end. I just got a couple more to do. I'll get them done and then we'll go up and we'll have a look at that fence. All right, back up here at the fence. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you for a walk around the perimeter. It'll take a couple of minutes, but I'll show you what I'm doing and what I'm up against. Let's go and have a look. So this is the start point. Just to get the bearings, this is the paddock through here where the cows have been. They've been in there for a couple of months now. This 2-strand wire that runs up there, that's what I put in the last couple of days. Keeps the cows over that side. What I can do, I'm not sure if you can tell right up the end there, is I've actually got the elastic bungee electric cord that you can use. And I can actually hook that either to the left or the right of the bathtub. So depending on which paddock they're in, they can still get to the water. I've also got another bathtub down the end there. I just need to run a water line from that bathtub down to the other one. So the fencing, right. This is where we start. So coming down through here, the fence is in reasonable condition, not too bad. They got copper's logs in there holding everything nice and tight, and the little uprights are holding everything nice as well. Doesn't matter that they're not touching the ground, some of these, they're still holding the wires apart. Nothing's going to squeeze underneath. Well, wallabies and stuff will, but my cows won't. And as I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run an electric wire here and down here, and that'll be enough to deter them as well. So across here we've got a very rocky gully here. So there was a whole heap of bottles that they'd dumped in on this side. I've moved them all to that side. I don't want the cows stepping on and cutting their feet. I've built a little bit of a rock wall under this one. Hopefully the cows don't kick that over. Anyway, coming up through here now, this wasn't in too bad condition. It was just a quick tidy up. And I needed to clear a lot of the bracken and stuff away so that I could run that electric fence. So a lot of clearing as well. Put a couple of new posts in there just to get it all nice and taut. Cleared a lot of the debris away. There was a lot of fallen branches, all these sorts of branches here. They were all over the fence. Had to clear all that away. Coming down through here, I've managed to get this all nice and tight. Put this through, slashed a heap of this grass and bracken out of the way. So I'm up to about here at the moment. By the way, that's the pepperberry tree that we were pulling all the pepperberries off, Kay and I, several weeks ago. Give you an idea where we were. Managed to break the handle off my machete. Not impressed with that. I'll have to get another one. But then from here, the whole fence just went down. All this bracken, I need to clear some of this out. But all the posts had rotted out. I've managed to pull all of the wire up out of all of the leaf litter and whatnot. Cleared, managed to get all the posts off, because even though those posts were rotted, those little nails that I hate so much, geez, they hold on well. So it took me a while to get the nails out, get rid of the old rotted posts. And that's why I just cut all those posts. I'm going to start hammering them in. Now the old fence used to go down behind, like behind this big tree. I'm not going to bother. I'm going to run up to this tree right here, and then from here I'm going to run straight across. I'll need to clear some more of that bracken out of the way, but I'll put a few more posts in and I'll run straight across down to this copper's log here, and I'll pick it up again from here. So from this copper's log we chuck a hard left and we come straight down through here. Now again, all I'm going to need here is a bit of machete work, clear out some of this grass and stuff, but all the wires are in there. They still look really good. These copper's logs are going to be great for me to pin off. I'll have to chop that mountain berry bush out That was the mountainberry bush I showed you a few weeks back in the episode as well. It'll have to be gone. Only because of the electric fence, that's why it needs to go. Down to here, another nice copper's log. Oh, nearly fell over. And then, what I'm thinking I'm doing, the fence used to go down to where that tree, I think the fence used to go around that tree that's fallen down. What I'll probably do, I think, is I will run from this copper's log, I'll run diagonally straight across past this mountainberry onto that copper's log there. I'll just chop the corner off of the block, not losing anything there. So then we're coming back across this way, another 90 degrees. Again, it's down. That wire's broken. I'll need to fix that up. But the wire's like in really good condition. I guess that's galvanized wire does that. Need to prune this pepperberry tree back a bit, again for the electric. So looking through here, it's not too bad. The wire's quite taut still. Clear a lot of this bracken out of the way. Yeah, the fence is right down in there. I'll have to replace all of that. I'll clear out underneath the tree. Most of the posts down there aren't too bad. And it goes to another copper's log right there on the corner. You hear a wallaby crashing through the bush down there. Right, so this last stretch is where they had, by the look of it, 3-strand electric wire. As I said, I'm going to go, for this piece, I'm going to go 2-strand electric wire, and I will go 1 strand of barbed wire in the middle. So I'll probably put a couple of extra uprights along through this as well, but it comes across to here, and then it comes across to this tree, and then from here it pretty much just shoots straight up. All the star pickets are in place, they're in good condition. I've got the plastic brackets to hook onto these star pickets. So this should be pretty straightforward, this piece actually. I'll get rid of some of this old rusty wire, put my own good electric wire in, it'll conduct better, and straight up to the post. That's the fence that I'm working on. So I better get back into it. Well, as you can see from that little walk of the fence line, that fence line is a lot longer than what I really thought. And it was foolish of me to think that I'd get that done in a day or two. It's actually taken close to a week now, and I'm very close to being finished. But that's all we've got time for this week, unfortunately. So I'm going to wrap this up here. Next week, I promise you, I will bring you the footage of the underground river and a couple other things I've been doing, and the wrap up of the fence. The fence will definitely be done by that point because it's almost done now. So I'll wrap this one up here. You have a great weekend. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all in a week's time. Cheers.